I came home after a handball game where we won and I was awarded man of the match, and I is so happy and exited to tell them about it. She of course was happy for me, but Kay just said to put my award with others in my room. I started to cry in front of him and asked, why do you hate me? He didn't reply and I went into my room and cried all night. After that he felt sad, like something had stabbed him in the cheeks, and it didn't go away, it only grew. My mom told him to go see a therapist until he relented, and after some time the therapist got through to him. For the past few years he has been living with this guilt and he has been afraid to confront it. So when I called him by his first name he realized that he had lost me. The next question I was afraid to ask it, but I asked if he ever abused her. She told me he has never abused her. She told me that Kay has only ever loved her. The only time he ever questioned her about anything was when she was pregnant with my younger brother and he asked for a paternity test, which she understood. When it came back positive he apologized and he didn't ask about my other siblings. The last question, I asked her why I was left with people who abused me physically, menially and emotionally while they went on trips and vacations. She was shocked to hear about the physical abuse and asked me about it. I told my mom that I never said anything at the time because I was afraid of Kay's family members when it happened. I told her everything I remember, but here is some of the things they did. My grandparents would scold me loudly and hit me when I was younger. My aunt never spoke to me unless she needed a favor, only to then go back to ignoring me and told me to stay in the guest room. When I was 14 my father took the family to a 2-day trip to Croatia. He left me with his older brother. He asked me to go to the store to buy some stuff. And of course I said yes. When I came he opened the door and took the bags and locked me out of the house. I sat there crying until they had all finished with their dinner and then he let me in. She cried the whole time while I told her everything. She told me how sorry she was. She knew they didn't like me, but this was just hate. After the conversation she asked if I was going to move out and where. I told her I was planning on it and where I will not tell her because I don't want Kay to know where I would be staying. She started to cry again. And again it hurt to see her cry. The conversation was long and lasted for several hours, but these are just the main points. After that I went to my room to clear my head and think. About an hour later someone knocked at my door and I told them to open. It was Kay who opened the door. He asked if he could enter and I said yes. It was the first time since I can remember he ever entered my bedroom. He looked around for a bit. He looked shelf where I keep all of the awards and trophies from school and sports. He was both surprised and sad when he saw the medals from then I did track and field and played football. He stopped when he saw the small man of the match award and picked it up. He held it for a while and started to tear up. He put it back and sat down on the bed. Neither of us said anything for a while. I asked if Mom had told him what we had talked about. He was still tearing up and slightly nodded his head. I asked him if he was aware on how I see him. He nodded again and whispered yes. So you know the extent on what our parents and siblings have put me through. He looked me in the eyes and asked it was true. I said yes, and he just started full on crying. After a while he stood up and hugged me. This was Booth the first time he has ever hugged me and cried in front of me before. I just hugged him back and started to cry. He didn't want to let go and he said how he was sorry for the pain he put me through, for the years of neglect, for treating me like an outsider, and he begged me not to movie out. When he finally let go he asked to be given a chance. I told him that maybe with time I could forgive him and Mom, but they had to earn it. But I won't forgive his family for the things they had done. Also for now he was still Kay. He is hurt by it but accepted it. For now I am not moving out, but if things go back to the way it was I will not hesitate to levy, and he knows it. We are going to see a family therapist together. I will in the future try and reach out to my biological father, but I don't know about my maternal family side. I am on the fence with them. I want to thank you for reading. Slight update. I called my friend and told him what happened. The door will always be open at his place. We have known each other since we started school and we both play for the same team. I know his parents well and they are lovely people. I know many of you want me to movie out as soon as possible, but I told them I would like to give them this one chance, and that is what I will do for the moment. Honestly, I am not scared that things will just go back to how things have been. I have been saving all of my money since I started working. To those who have been sending virtual hugs, here's a virtual hug back and thank you. Thank you for all the comments and support. Update 3. Firstly, I would like to thank all of you who have messaged on the last post and privately. I would like you to know that I am safe and I am at my friend's house. They are willing to let me stay with them long term. These messages have not only opened my eyes but also to see my mom and Kay for the people that they truly are. Both of them do not love me and do not care. I have had people telling me their stories of childhood abuse and neglect and how they got out. Every time I have tried to talk to Mom and Kay about the abuse, tried asking my mom how she can happily levy me behind, not done anything about it. They have tried to avoid the questions and love bomb me instead and saying that things will change. What really got me was this morning I got a message asking how my mom never noticed any bruises when they picked me up after travels and vacations. That sealed the deal for me. There is no way for someone who should supposedly cares for you not to notice. This morning I got ready to levy and packed up my things. It wasn't that much that I was taking with me. When I was ready I called my friend and asked him to pick me up when he could and call me when he was outside. When my friend called me and I moved my things out, I let my mom know and Kay know that I will be moving out. They did not take it well and started to beg me to stay. I told them that I couldn't stay there because it was clear to me that they didn't care about me. Kay got defensive and tried to say that this was my home and I should not levy. I asked him why for these past 2 years when he was in therapy he has remained the same. How come even though I tried my best I was still treated me like an outsider? He didn't say anything. I asked my mom why she let this go on for years without doing anything to stop it. Again she didn't say anything. My brothers weren't home so I went to say goodbye to my sister. It was really hard because she is the only one who has ever treated me with genuine kindness and love. I talked with her a bit and when I told her that I was going she looked so sad. It was harder than I thought to say goodbye her. When I got to his car I just broke down. We drove around for a bit before we got to his place. His dad helped me get settled in the guest room. My friend told his parents about the posts. They asked me to tell them everything and I did. They parents talked in private for a bit and then let me know that they would rather it stay with them long term than to go back. Again, thank you for everything. Last update. Just want to make an update on how I'm doing ever since I left and to clarify things a little. First, yes I am dyslexic and I don't care. This is not a book report and I am not getting grades on what I post on Reddit. The grammar police will never find me. Second, this is not my main. My main account is followed by some of my friends and teammates and I don't want them to know what I'm going through. My best friend respects my wishes on not telling others. Now to what has been going on since I left. My best friend and his family have been nothing but wonderful. They have taken me in as their own and showed me nothing but love, kindness and understanding. I appreciate everything they have done to make me feel safe and loved. I have met with my mom and siblings on a few occasions but never at my old home or at my friend's house. I have made myself clear that I will never step a foot inside there again and it took my mom some time to realize that. She stopped asking me to come back after I ignored her for a few weeks. I have switched therapists because I felt like I needed a fresh slate with dealing with all of this and yes indeed therapists are mandatory reporters in my country. I learned that after my first appointment and he contacted the police and reported my old one. K and some of his extended family have tried to reach out via texts and some have offered their apologies and others just insults. It's not too hard to think why. Those have been blocked and to those who apologized, K's parents, brother and his family, I replied with a simple I accept your apology but I do not forgive you. That may never happen and it will be on my terms. For the foreseeable future do not contact me again. What happens next I do not know. I am just going to focusing on school, my mental health and getting a diver's license. Thank you for everything. I truly appreciate every one of you for everything and big hugs to you all.